Hey, church. Today we're talking about John chapter 17, and I just wanted to share just one verse with you today from this. This is Jesus prays right before he's arrested and taken to be crucified. We call it his high priestly prayer because it's a prayer all for his current disciples and those then who would come in the generations to follow. And one of the things that he says for them in verse 21 of chapter 17 is, He prays that they may all be one, just as you, Father, are in me, and I in you, that they also may be in us, so that the world may believe that you have sent me. This verse struck me in particular light of how we live our lives so often today. Particularly, I'm going to beat perhaps the dead horse of social media. So often, what's posted on social media is meant to divide, and this is how I'm different from you, and this is what you ought to be thinking, and I can't believe these other people think differently than we do and do differently than we do. And whether it's in spiritual matters, especially political matters, but sports, and every facet of life, we find ways to make ourselves a tribe and make ourselves separate from others. But what Jesus prays for is unity. Jesus prays that we would find ways to connect, points of contact between ourselves and others, and celebrate those, point to those. Because what we're meant to do is to reflect the unity of the Trinity, God, Son, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And instead of spending our time pointing out and dwelling on the places where we're divided from each other, even from the world, ought we not to find ways to celebrate where we're connected, where we're the same, where among believers we follow the same Jesus and we are pursuing the same goals and we're facing the same struggles, but saved by the same grace. And then even with the world, you see it in the scriptures where Paul preaches before the Areopagus, and he talks about the points of contact, the philosophies that he knows and can talk about with them, and says, don't you see this mysterious, unknown God? I know who he is. His name is Yahweh, and he came in the form of Jesus Christ. But he finds those points of contact. He says, I can be all things to all people, because he wants to find points of contact, because it's in those points of contact where we're united, where we have the opportunity to share love, to share the gospel, to be who Jesus prays that we would be, united under his lordship, pointing towards the glory of God. So not to say that social media is bad or that points of difference are to be avoided, but just to say, this week, use some of your time to find points of contact, celebrate unity with anyone that you can, because it's a way that we can build one another up and point to Jesus.